Hello, everyone. Welcome to our channel. My name's Uchenna, and as you can see, it's just me. Both Dior and Ijama could not make it tonight, but we will not leave you guys hanging. I am here to discuss Ladies Who List Atlanta, Season 1, Episode number 4. Okay, so like we said last week, this series keeps on getting better and better with each episode. We would like to hear what you guys think of the show. Are you feeling it? Are you not feeling it? Which characters do you like? Which ones do you don't like? Do you think that there'll be a season number 2? Fill us in with what you think. All right, so before we start, please turn on your notifications, like and subscribe to our channels, and always comment below. So this episode, we start where we left off from last week. So Kiana and Robin are still continuing their conversation, which is great because there was no closure last week, and I need closure, as I'm sure you guys do too. So Robin kind of springs something on us that I'm sure that no one saw. So while Kiana was explaining why she was so upset, she had 26 contracts, and then Robin told her, I want $500 per contract. And Robin was like, no, that's not what I said. I said $500, period. And Kiana was like, wait a minute. Yes, you said $500 per contract. And Robin was like, no, I meant $500 total for all 26 contracts. And Kiana was like, what story are you telling, girl? But Robin seemed very sincere about it. And so Kiana, being a grown-ass woman, said, okay, I know what I heard, but if she wants to tell me otherwise, just so we can put this to rest, I will be okay with it. And I will pretend like she actually said $500 total. So, I mean, I don't know who to believe. Only God and Robin will know what she said, but she seems sincere. Let's hope that that's what happened. What do you guys think? Do you think that Robin actually said 5 total, or that she really said 5 each and was switching up her story so that they can move past the situation? But either case, I'm glad that they have resolved it and they have decided to move forward as friends. So I was glad to see it because I don't want none of these ladies, except for Cristyl, to be fighting. Cristyl deserves a fight. Okay, so they hashed it all out. So everything is Gucci, and I'm glad to see that. And then we also, for Tiana, we start where she left off last week with Michael Hibachi and his gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous apartment. So at the end of last episode, she was telling him what she thought that she could sell the house for. And she told him 1.5 million. And he was like, hell to the no, that is not enough. I would be happy with 2.25 to 2.5 million. Now, Tiana, being the boss lady she is, that's full of integrity, she didn't sway, she didn't cave. She was like, okay, yes, I will sell, I will list it for 2.3 million. She was like, you know what? This house is beautiful. And I understand why you would like it to list that high. But that selling price is way out of the boundary of this complex. So no other house is being sold for that high amount. And even though you bought it for 1.2 million and you put 300,000 in furnishing and renovations in it, it's going to be a stretch for you to even get that 1.5. And as homeowners, people love their home and they want to sell it for what they believe it needs to be sold at. But the reality is, if the comps aren't there, that's going to be a hard sell. Unless he has diamonds and golds everywhere in the house, I think it's going to be hard for him to get that price that he wants which is what she said at that time. And it surprised me that she said, if he waits a little longer, then he'll get that money, that he'll get that asking price. But for right now, he's not going to get it. So I don't know if Atlanta, the real estate market in Atlanta isn't as hot as it is on the East Coast, because it is flaming hot. Here, houses are selling for $80,000 to $100,000 and higher over asking price. And some of these houses that are selling for $1 million are houses that you would normally tear down. So the real estate market here is crazy. So I guess it's not as crazy. I'm sure it's crazy in Atlanta, but maybe not as crazy. But she stood her ground and she said, you know what? You know, let's revisit this. Please keep me on your mind, and we'll revisit this, and then we'll try to sell it at a later time. And then she left. You know, she wasn't gonna, you know, sell herself for some dollars. She was like, no, this isn't gonna work for me. And she left like a true boss, and I love that. So then the next scene was Cristyl, Kiana, and Kiara. So they went to have lunch. And what the hell was Cristyl wearing? Like, that outfit was so whack. Did she think that she was going to the Bahamas or Jamaica? Because that looked like a beach summer outfit, and it gave her breasts no support. Them babies was hanging low. She should have wore a strapless bra or put some tape on there to hike them up, because that was bad. The color was beautiful, but with the style, girl, no. And everybody else was looking chic and in their workout gear and just looking, you know, super dope. And I know she felt silly when she walked in there and saw the other girls. But anyways, so they sat down and talked. I don't even know what this discussion was for, or because it just seemed to be like a conversation that really clowned the whole dinner situation. And it just wasn't necessary. And it also just showed how much of a friend that Cristyl is not to Robin, because she hasn't even spoken to Robin. But Kiana's spoken to her, Tiffany's spoken to her, but her best friend hasn't said a word. What does that mean? Is she taking the therapist's advice and taking a break from it, even though she was in the wrong? I can understand if Robin was in the wrong. Robin was wrong for hitting her, but Cristyl was wrong for doing what she was doing. It was ridiculous. So they had their kiki moment and nothing really came out of it. I think it was maybe Crystyl's way to get in good with Kiara, because later on in the episode, we see that Miss Cristyl invites Kiara to her office to wine and dine her and to get her business. So I really didn't understand. So Kiara comes to Crystyl's office, and because she said that she doesn't really know Cristyl and she wanted to get to know her, and she's never been to her office before. And she heard that there was going to be lunch. So she was like, I'm on that, as I would be. Free lunch is the best lunch. So she went over there to talk to her, knowing that Cristyl was going to try to get her business. And I'm sorry, I thought that was super shady of Cristyl. And it just goes to who she is as a person and really aligns to everything that we've seen of her so far, which has been bad. Yeah, people say, oh, it's business. And, she's just trying to get her money. Yes, it's business, but she knows Tiffany. And she knows Tiffany is Kiara's number one and vice versa. So she is trying to steal her from Tiffany. And it'd be different if she didn't know Tiffany, but she knows her and she knows what she's doing. And that's just shady mess. And she made it seem like, oh, there's enough business to go around, especially with your numbers. But no, girl, there's enough business in Atlanta. You don't need to be stealing another Black woman's business. Okay, no, you don't need to do that. And so during that conversation, Cristyl, of course, was being fake and phony and trying to get to know Kiara and get her business by asking about her boyfriend. And Kiara explained that her and her boyfriend broke up and recently broke up. And Cristyl was like, why? And so she explained that, you know, things weren't going right in the relationship. You know, the relationship just wasn't working out. And, you know, people, they were holding on, even though they knew that there was really nothing there left anymore. But as people, we do that just because it's hard for us. It's difficult for us to let go. And so that's what she was explaining. And then she said that she was in Miami, and then she was having a talk with God. And she said, you know, God, please give me a sign of what I should do. And then she said that the next day she woke up and her neighbor told her that her house burned down. So I really didn't understand Kiara's connection to her relationship with her talk with God. So it's kind of like she was saying that in order for her to know it was time to break up with her boyfriend, that the good Lord burned down her house. And I think that's a bit of a stretch. I don't think that's something that he would do for breaking up with a person. So I think that's a little bit off, but if that's what she needs to get her through it and to make it happen, then that's what she needs. So, but I think that's a little bit of a stretch, but everyone has their own relationship and beliefs. And, you know, I just don't think that, you know, God does work in mysterious ways, but I don't think that it was that, you know, but if that's good for her, it's good for her. So then, you know, Cristyl is trying to wine and dine her and asks her point blank, will you list with us? You know, and Kiara never really responded. So we don't know if she said yes or she said no. I'm hoping, and I'm pretty sure that she said no, you know, because it just doesn't make any sense why she would. So then before that, Tiffany and Tiana are meeting, and they're talking about Tiffany's opening for her new law firm. And she's really excited, and she's inviting a whole bunch of people, including the girls. And Tiana kind of asked her, are you going to invite Cristyl? And Tiffany was like, no, you know, she's just inviting people who support her. And Cristyl is not one of them. And with the way that Cristyl moved at the dinner, she doesn't trust her. And I don't blame her at all. Like, why would you invite someone who can potentially steal your clients? And she didn't even know at that point what Cristyl was trying to do with Kiara, but she knew who Cristyl was. So she was very smart not to invite her. And I'm extremely glad that she did not, because, you know, why would she? You know, so she's not inviting Cristyl, but she is inviting Robin because of that connection that they formed at lunch. And she did say to Tiana that she is not inviting Robin per se to get her business. She's inviting her because she likes her as a person. And I believe that with Tiffany. She seems very straightforward, and she wouldn't be lying. So during that conversation, we got to know a little bit more of Tiana, and we learned about her childhood and the trauma that she went through. Her parents, her mother was addicted to drugs, and her father ended up having to raise her. And she used her hardship and that struggle with the relationship with her mother to propel her to become a successful person. And Tiffany didn't know the story, which is kind of surprising. They're best friends, so you would think that she would know, but she acted as if she didn't know. And so she was surprised at the story. And she made Tiffany made a very good observation. She kind of noticed how Robin and Tiana had the same difficult childhood story. And she kind of said that, you know, people with similar childhood traumas and those traumas can affect people in different ways due to the way that they process things. And that's what happened with Tiana and Robin. They both had difficult childhoods with relationships with their mothers. And they both used that to propel them to success. But the difference was how it affected their character. You know, their personalities are extremely different, and that's based on how they processed that relationship and how that they were going to deal with it. Robin has, you know, some anger issues, and it doesn't seem like Tiana does. And we saw another example of Robin's anger issues when she lost a listing with one of her big clients that she's had for the past 17 years, because they got into an argument and she couldn't control her temper. But luckily, she was able to salvage the relationship. She did not get the listing back and the house sold, but, you know, based on their relationship, you know, that client decided to give her all of her listings and his future listings. So it worked out for Robin, and she was extremely happy. And she mentioned her business that she was trying to do with the ladies. And I don't know if he shot it down because he didn't even hear it. He was just, it almost sounded like he was saying that Robin is really only about Robin and this business venture wouldn't work. And it did seem to put some doubt in Robin's head, but I'm hoping that she doesn't really follow it and still goes on with the plan of building this conglomerate. I hope I said it right. That's a hard word. So hopefully that's what happens. That's gonna happen. So I thought it was really interesting when Kiara introduced us to one of her clients, and she still has, like she said, I think it was last week when she was talking with, I think it was B. Smith, and she was told us that the relationships she has with her clients is more important than the money. And I thought it was a line of BS when she said that. I was like, oh my God, whatever. But it seems to be true, because she, after her clients, this guy, the CEO of a trucking business, sold the house, he put $1 million in renovation. And since they had such a good relationship, he invited both Kiara and Tiffany, the lawyer, to the house so they can see the renovations. And before they walked us through the amazing house, she showed that she had thrown like a closing party for this guy, where she invited all of his friends, his family, his mother. She had it catered, she had a DJ, she had drinks, and it was like one big party. And she did it just for her client. My realtor never did anything like that, you know, so she is a really good a realtor who really cares about her clients, which I think is really cool. And his house was sick. It was really, really nice. It was gorgeous. He totally like renovated the whole thing, especially the downstairs, and he made it into the ultimate bachelor pad. So it was cool to see that. So the last part of it, the last scene, was at Tiffany's grand opening of her law firm. And that office is gorgeous. I have never seen a law office that looked like that. It was beautiful. It was sophisticated, you know, modern, you know, classy, blingy. It was everything combined all the right ways. And so all the ladies were there, except for Cristyl. And it was interesting because at one point, Robin had all the girls, and Kiara was there, and she kind of was like, let's all take pictures together. And she's like, you know, Kiara, come on in and take the picture. And Kiara's like, no, it's okay, I'm good. And then Robin was like, okay, well then, can you take the picture of us? And Kiara's like, okay, yeah, I can take that picture. So it seems like Kiara is still salty about the Instagram issue, which doesn't make any sense. Like, is it fake? I mean, is she just being upset just to have something added to her storyline? Because this is something like a 15-year-old would be upset about, you know, not a successful businesswoman like she is. So I think that she's like keeping it going just for a story, because there's absolutely no way that she could truly still be upset. And she keeps on like making it seem like it was all Robin when it was mainly her, but it was both of them. And so we find out that Cristyl has not, because during the party, Robin and Kiana went to a separate room. Now that they're friends, they went to a separate room and into a conference room, and they were talking. But that party was live because it was loud as hell, and you could barely hear Robin and Kiana talking because people were having a great time, and the party was loud. But they had a good conversation, and they were talking about her and Crystyl's relationship. And from that conversation, we found out that Cristyl never reached out to Robin after that dinner party. Robin had reached out to her, and Cristyl was like, I'll get back to you, but she never did. But she reached out, Cristyl reached out to Kiana and to Kiara, but not to her best friend, Robin, that she was so torn up about, you know, that their relationship wasn't right. And so I think Robin finally convinced or explained herself well enough that Kiana understood why she was upset, because Robin did not have her back. And Kiana could agree with it, because she knew that she would have Kiara's back or any friend's back if someone was getting in her face and there was an argument. And Cristyl didn't do that. And Robin pinned down Crystyl's personality to a T. She said that Cristyl doesn't know how to be a friend. She's too busy wanting to be liked by everyone else and wanting to be the life of the party and wanting to be with this group and that group. And it's hard for those type of people to be loyal and to be happy, because they feel like they have to be liked. Like, why not be happy with the people who really like you? Why do you need to be liked by everyone? It seems like that would be such a hard life. But, and she also said that Robin also said that Cristyl is a sorority girl. And when she said that, I was like, that's it exactly. That is exactly who Cristyl acts and sounds like. So she pinned her down. And so it'll be interesting to see in the next episodes, like what happens with that relationship. Will they be able to come together, Robin and Cristyl, and hash everything out? Or will Robin get wise and see that, and continue to see that Robin's not a good friend, and then switch her business over to Tiffany, which is what I'm hoping happens. And I'm sure there's some of you out there who would agree with me. And I'm sure there's some people who are Team Cristyl and Team Robin. And I think you already know that I am Team Robin. So we'll see. And we'll see how this show goes. I like it. I'm liking it more and more each week. And we'll see what next week brings. So thank you for staying with me, even though it was only me. Next week, we will have IJ back, and we will get it popping again. So please don't forget to turn on your notification buttons, subscribe to our channel, like this episode, and comment below. All right, everyone, have a good weekend. And for people who are on the East Coast, stay safe, because we are going to have a bad snowstorm tomorrow. So I hope you guys have some gasolines for those snow blowers, for those, for what are those things called? generators. And hopefully you will not lose power. And I'm hoping that I don't lose power because it's going to be cold and I do not want to be cold. So everyone have a great weekend and we'll see you next time. Bye.